Okay, so we're going to introduce a little counter conditioning because George likes to bark a lot when people come to the door, and we have a couple of young kids. Mom is tired of George waking up the kids. So counter conditioning is a technique where we want to introduce the stimulus, in this case the doorbell ringing, to the dog in a controlled situation. I'm using a leash to prevent George from running around running towards the door. The closer he gets to the stimulus, the more intense it is. So I want to be able to have more control and block him from doing that. Now my two tests: can I get the dog to sit, and will he take the treat? When the stimulus is too close or too intense, the dog will not take the treat and he will not stay seated because he wants to immediately run towards it. So we want to increase the distance. I started at where the cameraman is right now and it was too close. So we moved further away from the door to help George have a little bit more distance to help him relax and settle himself. Sit. Now we have one of the guardians on the phone here. I'm going to be able to control ringing. So I want to start delivering the treat before she rings the bell. Okay, ring it. So now I have a second one, and I'm going to let it go ahead and ring it. That was not good on my part. Sloppy. George slobbers a little bit. All right, ring it again. So I'm not putting any tension on the line, and as you can see, he's not reacting to the doorbell anymore. Do it one more time. So we want to make sure we have control. So I have the phone so I can control exactly when it happens. If I'm not giving him the treat and the doorbell rings, he's going to react, and that's going to kind of set us back. So I want to start at this distance, and then now that we've done pretty well, what I'm going to do is move a little bit closer. We're just going to move a couple feet. George, sit, 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 sit. Ring. Again. There we go. All right, I'm going to move even closer. Now this is going to be more accelerated than you guys are typically going to be able to do, but I do this for a living, so I can get away with it. George, sit. Ring it. So that time we had a little bit of a gruff. Turn the phone so you can hear me a little bit better. All right. Sit. 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 George. Sit. All right, ring it again. So now we're pushing the boundaries. We're getting so close that he's starting to bark a little bit. So this would be a part where we'll stop. So ring it again. See how he got out of his sit? Now part of it might be we got little man here. Sit.
Yeah.
Ring it again. Now this is going to be a little bit different. You wouldn't do this until later on in the process. We're going to see if we can do it at this point. Ring it. Ring it. There you go. So I wanted to give it a ring before I was delivering one to see how
I see, yeah.
Sit. Sit. Ring it again. So after a while, he's going to associate the doorbell rings, I get a high value treat. I'm not going to be alarmed about that. I'm actually going to ask people to show up. So again, make sure that he's sitting and that he will take the treat. And as we get closer, we get to the point, like at this point, he doesn't want to sit and he's not as interested in the treats. This is where we stop. The next time when we start this, we would start maybe 1 or 2 feet back behind where we started the first time. And then we're going to keep on repeating this, but we have to stop before the dog reacts. If the dog reacts, we push too far, and it kind of invalidates a lot of the progress we made. It's going to take a little bit of time to go through this. It might take you a week or two, but by the time you get done, doorbell rings, and he's not going to have any interest in barking. All right, that's counter conditioning.